here. Come here. So we're together. Come here. Don't be shy. You say that.
I'm Arvin.
And I'm Megan, and together we're Arvin and Megan Create. Welcome to our channel, and we wanted to take you guys on a garden tour today because we've been sharing lots of photos of our urban homestead, and we kind of just wanted to give you a more in-depth tour of everything that's going on here. So let's get started. We're gonna show you guys the greenhouse first. So this is our little greenhouse. I got it on Amazon. I think it was like $300 or something like that. And right now it's June, so there's not a ton in the greenhouse, but we've been kind of succession planting a few things, and we've got a few more things started that are going out in the garden. So we've got some peppermint, some more flowers, bean plants, and we've got these like big trays down here, which is really great. We got these from Canadian Tire. They're really deep, so they can get some good roots on them before we plant them in the ground. Just got a few more things. Got some strawberries in here. These are from last year, and we just haven't put them in the ground yet, but they're like really happy. So happy. And then we're trying out some asparagus this year, so I had started these from seed, and then on the third year we'll be able to harvest them.
Long-term commitment.
Yeah, a long-term commitment, exactly. And then we've got some cucumbers over here. These are going to go on the trellises out front. We'll take you guys to the front yard after we do a backyard tour. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the greenhouse. When we bought it, it came with like all the shelving and the cover. We've had it for I think 3 years now, and it's done us good. Here, let me get a further away shot so you guys can see everything. Here, we've got some like little tomatoes kind of on the outside there, tomato plants in pots. So then we'll show you guys the main patch next. So this one is our big strawberry patch. Strawberries are very abundant in June, so we've got lots of those. Got a few strawberries over here as well. I'll walk through here. So many strawberries. And then we've got all these little pots throughout because we're planting the little runners that come off the main plant. So these are going to be baby strawberry plants for next year. And they'll produce us a lot more next year, but they're still flowering. They're really happy. Then over here we've got our trellises. We normally grow like snap peas or snow peas. This year we're doing some pole beans too. A little snap pea plant. And then this is kind of like the shaded part of our garden where we have lettuces. Our pak choi bolted, or it's all starting to bolt. This one's starting to bolt as well now too. So that means it's going to seed. And then I guess you guys can see like the little containers we have in there. We have a really bad slug problem, so we put beer out in containers for them. And that attracts them, so then we don't have as many slugs eating our stuff. I've got nice kale plants. Kale actually grows really well on the island. We pretty much can grow it all year round, and it doesn't seem to bolt. It's very rare that we have kale that has bolted, so we're lucky with that. And then we've got a few cabbages as well back here. And then
Kale in the middle there.
that one's Toby. Hey Toby. Hi, you want to say hi to everyone?
Our biggest kale's over there.
Hi bud.
Massive that is.
Which one? Oh yeah, we do have lots of kale over here. Yeah, these ones are huge. Like, look at these. Ugh, our favorite thing to do is make kale chips. I've actually put a recipe up on the blog about that. Dehydrator kale chips are my favorite. Got a bunch of them. Yeah, look at all those. They're getting huge. Oh man. Yeah, my storage ran out, so I had to upload some stuff. Okay, so this is the tomato section. I said we have them in 7-gallon pots. So we got a bunch of these like fabric pots, and they've been working out really, really well. And we have, these ones are determinant tomatoes. So they seem to be doing really well. And then we've also got another variety. This one's the indeterminate. This one is aroma cherry, or aroma tomato. And so these ones, we've kind of kept them along the back because these are the ones we have to prune and take off the suckers. And then these determinate ones, we kind of just leave them be. And then we've not just got tomatoes here. We've also got some of this other stuff here that we're just testing out in pots to see how they do this year. We've got a cucumber plant. This one is lemon cucumber. And so he'll grow up the trellis here. And then we've got, this one's a little watermelon plant. We're trying a watermelon in the 7-gallon. We'll see how that does. And then we've got a few pepper plants. Our pepper plants, they're very behind this year, let's say that. We had a little mishap in the greenhouse, and our pepper plants all died. So I tried to plant a few more to get some peppers this year, but we'll see how that goes. And then this is a new thing for us. We've got, this one's eggplant. So we're trying the eggplant in the containers. They look pretty cool. Another watermelon. Yeah, just some like lettuces and beans as well. I'll take you over here to our corn patch. We had like a lot of issues transplanting them this year. I grew them in the greenhouse. They were doing really well, and then we transplanted them into the ground and they all turned yellow, and they had like a little bit of shock. So I'm glad that they finally kind of settled in now, and they're looking a lot better. So I hope we get a decent harvest like we did last year off the corn. We just get like the sweet corn variety. It's really good. So kept them all like kind of bunched together because they need to pollinate each other. So here we go. And then over here we've got, here, let me stand back so you can see my little contraption I built here. I used tomato cages and I kind of just tape them together. And then I put a netting because we have a lot of birds around here. And the birds like to get at them. But yeah, this is a blueberry. This is a pink blueberry to be exact. It's really cool. Like, it tastes like a blueberry, but they're pink. They're really pretty. So they'll turn white and then they'll go to their pink stage. We've got all of these mung beans. Honey, why do we have so many mung beans? All of these mung bean plants that Arvin planted. So we're going to kind of dry them on the pod, and then
You sprouted them.
yeah. Yeah.
And you didn't.
Well, we sprouted them and then we didn't eat them, and we were like, oh, they're starting to grow leaves, like let's plant them. Either way, got lots of mung beans. We're gonna let them dry on the pod, and then they'll go kind of into our jars in the pantry, so then we can make different dishes with the mung beans. And then we've got some little baby raspberry plants. Our one big raspberry plant died this year, but I was able to save some of the little baby ones, so we put some over here, and there's some in like the other main patch of the garden as well. And then We've got another, this one, another blueberry. This one here. I think this one is 5 years old now. It's really happy. We've got some that are actually starting to turn colors. Look at that guy. Oh, that's so pretty. Yeah, so those will be ready probably in July to eat. So that'll be exciting. And then we've got kind of in the side yard over here, we've got some lettuces, and I've got a little bit of mint in here. You don't want to plant mint in your garden because it's very invasive. It will take over your garden bed. So make sure you put it in a pot. And then, oh, I guess up here we've got some catnip. This is also pretty invasive. The cats like it though, so I keep it here. Some of the cats, they'll come up on the fence and they'll like eat the catnip like the neighborhood cats. But yeah, he's getting kind of big. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the other side yard. Let's go over there. So we've got the other side yard here. I mean, okay, so we've got this giant bush here. Okay, this one here. This was in a pot last year and they weren't doing so well. It's a gooseberry bush. And so we decided to transplant it into the garden this year, and it has just taken over this whole area. Like, it's so happy. And I thought I'd just kind of like let it go this year and then we'll probably prune it next year. But it is so happy that it's got transplanted into the garden, and it's actually producing a few berries. So let me see if I can find, oh, there they are. See? Even got a few berries this year. Look at that. Wait, where are you? There you are. Got a few berries there. So we might even get a little bit of a harvest off it this year. And then like intertwined with the gooseberry, we've got these nasturtiums. The leaves are really yummy to eat. And then like the flowers are really tasty. It's an edible flower. They're kind of like spicy, I guess. They're really nice for salads. And they just kind of, I just let them trail everywhere because they're really pretty and it attracts lots of good insects to the garden. And then I'm trying to move over here. So we've got this nice big bush as well. He was another transplant. He was in a pot for a few years, not doing very good. It is a goji berry, and he seems to be happy now. We might get berries this year. That would be really nice. I'm just happy that he's not dying in a pot anymore, so that's a good sign. So I'm glad this little guy is doing better. I realized that we've been passing this a bunch of times, and these ones are our potato plants. So we did potatoes in these containers. There's, yeah, okay, you can't see the containers. They're very happy here. That one actually needs some water. He looks a little sad. Yeah, our potatoes here in these containers. So we'll see how that goes. These ones are Yukon Gold. We have a few more in the front too, which I guess I'll take you guys up to the front. We'll go through the side yard. We just have like a little shed in the side yard right here. This is like our, I guess, planting station. So we're gonna go out to the front here and go through here at our front gate into our front yard. So the front yard garden is a newer thing this year. We ripped out all our grass since of all the quarantine stuff. So we've been just kind of able to plant some things out here. So over here, we've got lots of pak choi that has bolted, but we've kept it because it's really great for the bees. It attracts lots of bees to the garden. We've got the sunflowers that are like almost past the fence here now. And then over here, I've planted some zucchini plants. So we've got a few little zucchinis actually starting now, which is nice. Little summer zucchinis. So we've got those out here. And then I was saying that we have more potato plants out here, and we used old compost bins. Kind of, you can see the compost bins down there. And we planted potatoes in those. So over on this side, we built this little contraption here. This is for the deer because we have a lot of deer here in the front. I mean, we don't have a fence out here, so this is where we keep our plants safe. So I'm growing, these ones are pumpkins and squash up the side here. They're pretty happy. And then we've got our gate here. If I just go in the gate, very like simplistic design. We've got some, these ones are going to be pole beans, so we've got them out in the front. And then we've got more squash there, which is kind of nice. I haven't grown squash up on a trellis before, so that's why we really wanted to put up kind of this structure, so then we could try growing some like heavier things on the trellises, which it will just be kind of a neat experiment. And then so we used this was like a cement wire mesh, and then we've got rebar here, and we just kind of cemented them into the ground. And we've got a few like freestanding rebars here because I've kind of made this tomato cage situation. It's a little bit cheaper than buying a bunch of tomato cages, so you kind of just tie string as they grow up and you prune them as they get bigger, but they seem to be really happy. I've got kind of some dill planted in between, some I think these are chives, and there's some basil as well. So we've got lots of tomatoes. So these are all the indeterminate tomatoes, the Roma ones. And then we've got lots of space still in here because I've got stuff in the greenhouse, like I said. So this is actually where I want to plant the asparagus. So it'll stay here for a long time. I mean, the asparagus, it should kind of keep coming back year after year. And that's where I'm planning on putting that. And they really like to be near tomatoes, so we'll probably plant tomatoes here most years. And then if I kind of stand back, I guess you guys can see this other little trellis area. So we put like kind of the bird netting there, and we put the bird netting on this side so then we could grow some snap peas up here. So we've got snap peas. Sorry if it's really noisy. There's a lot of people, I think, coming home from work at this point. Right in the front yard, right? We normally come out here when it's a little bit quieter and it's like getting late. Everyone's kind of at home by then. It's like our favorite time to come into the front and just garden out here. But yeah, there's, I guess, some pole beans, snap peas. We've got a few like bush beans kind of along the front as well. And then if you come over here, we've got lots of sunflowers. We've just kind of planted them sporadically throughout. We've got lemon cucumbers. So these ones are lemon cucumbers. And then I'm planning on planting a lot of the other cucumbers kind of along the front here. Those ones are all like annual flowers, so they'll hopefully get a little bit bigger as the years go on. And then here we've got another little zucchini. I've got some watermelon over there too. Hopefully they grow up the trellis. We're just kind of experimenting with the front yard this year. We got, what was it, how much dirt did we get? I think it was 4 yards of dirt, and then we've had like compost from our compost back there, which I guess we'll take you guys back to the compost in the backyard because I haven't shown you that yet. That's more his thing. So I guess I'll let you explain the compost area, hun.
No, you can do it.
No, you explain it. You've kind of, oh well, I guess it's this is our Compost Mountain is what we call it. We've got Compost Mountain, and then we've got these two food composters. So we put the fresh stuff from our kitchen in here, and any yard waste that really needs to be broken down first before it can go in Compost Mountain. So things go from this compost to this compost. And then, so we put more like finished compost in there to like kind of have like a few weeks in there before we like spread it over the garden, just to make sure it kills all the bacteria that we need to. So that's kind of our basic system. We also have, I guess, a bokashi bin in the garage for things like bones and cheese and things that you shouldn't put in like your main bin. You don't want to put stuff like that in your main bin, or it'll attract a lot of animals, and the bacterias are a little bit different in dairy and meat products. So different type of composting for that, but it all kind of turns into dirt in the end. So yeah, right now we chopped a few branches off our tree in the front because it was kind of hanging over the road a little much. So that's in there to still be broken down, isn't it, honey? You're excited to do that, right? There's always a project in the garden. So yeah, I think I mean, let me come over here. Do you have anything to say about your compost area?
No, it never ends.
Never ends.
Never ends.
Never ends. Yeah. It's weird. Okay. So, I mean, if there's anything in the garden tour that we like maybe showed but missed telling you what it was, just like let us know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this, we'd be happy to do kind of more gardening videos. We're not really sure where we want to take the channel at this point, but this is, I think, a good start. Everyone seems to like our Instagram posts when it comes to gardening and just our knowledge on gardening in general. So yeah, we'll start out with this, and you guys let us know what you think, and make sure to subscribe so then you don't miss any more videos. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay, bye.